Good morning, guys. It's nice to see you. It's been 2 weeks now since I've done a live. It's good to be here. I've missed you. I'm gonna adjust that so I feel like life's a little more centered. Is it centered? Yeah. Who knows, right? It's good to be here. I am happy to see you all. So, yeah, welcome. Today, I just want to share with some things that are on my heart, what's coming up for me, what's going on for me in my world, and what I see 2022 bringing us, and what I've learned with 2021. And my thing here, I'm just going to put this down here. It's bothering me. Just me and my brain. So before we get started today, I want to I get this shared out to the community. The community is a place where you can find tools, guidance, and support in your journey beyond codependency. Now, the community is governed by very specific rules, and it's appropriate for specific kinds of people dealing with codependency or narcissistic abuse recovery. But it's not necessarily the right community if you're dealing with a child who has maybe ghosted you or gone into no contact with you. That's a common place where a lot of people come to the community seeking help for that, and I recommend finding a different community for that. Just so you know what we do in the community and who it's appropriate for. People struggling with codependency. It's a result of narcissistic abuse from a spouse or a parent. So I put that clarity there. There's also rules that govern the community, and to access those, the link is above on Facebook, below on YouTube, and to access the community itself, the link is also above on Facebook and below on YouTube. Those rules govern the community, help it make a very safe container. It is a strict set of rules, especially around communication, how we communicate with each other, because communication is one of the places in which we impact each other the most. So check those out before you join. Make sure you agree to them, because you will be expected to follow them. The reason I'm being a little firm on this is because we've had an influx of members joining that have had a rough experience because they were unaware of what those rules were and what the purpose of the group is. So I just informed consent. It's clear. It's right there for you. So you can check that out below. I'm going to get this shared out to the community here. So you can click the buttons. Yes, share as myself, Facebook. Good job. And voila. Okay. It is nice to be back. I am happy to be here, connecting with you guys. Just you're part of my world, my family, my experience. And I thank you for being here and supporting me in this journey as we discover life beyond codependency. That's how I approach this work, is we are discovering it. There isn't a set parameter we must accomplish to get out of this. Really, discovery of life beyond codependency is really about connection back to ourself from a foundation of self-trust, and then moving into our personal innate value, which then reveals to ourselves who we are. That's at least my approach to it. And that's what I have found has been consistently necessary for at least myself and other students and clients to find themselves and to enjoy, actually live life beyond their codependent impulses, people-pleasing, fawning, all that good stuff. So today, it's just about spending a little time with you. Let me know if you have questions or anything you want to talk about. It's kind of this open forum for today. Some things that I did want to touch on, one that really matters to me right now is it's doing a little reflection on 2021 first. I mean, it's the end of the year, and it's what we typically do. But I often reflect on things throughout the year because, well, one thing that I have found necessary for myself is to be consciously aware of where I am at in my own journey on a daily basis. So a lot of times we get into this automatic pilot mode. Oh, I got my goal, I got my target, I got this thing, we're going to do this, boom, 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 boom. We run towards it. And then we start finding ourselves feeling lost, feeling confused, feeling frustrated, feeling empty. and wondering, what is going on. And that's because our autopilot isn't developed to direct us towards what brings us joy or what takes care of us. The autopilot is there to maintain a specific kind of status quo, per se. And so it doesn't actually feed ourselves in an effective way. Thought I muted that. But, it's the holidays. The status quo usually isn't going to be what we want. It's what we're comfortable with. That's what 2021 has really helped me start really seeing in my own world. It's like, Marshall, what are you tolerating that you don't want to tolerate anymore? And a lot of times it's not been an external thing. It's been something held within my own nervous system, my own body, my own thinking. So this has included thoughts that I've tolerated, thoughts about myself, thoughts about other people, thoughts about things. And these thoughts were causing me pain, physical pain. I'm like, but why? Why am I entertaining a thought that brings me pain? So I started exploring letting go of trusting the thought and seeing what emerged. And there's more peace that emerged. So 2021 got me really tuning back into my body, back into my awareness about what I've been tolerating. So thoughts, what kind of tension states have I been tolerating in my body? What have I been holding on to as a way to feel safe or protected? What have I been believing that is bringing me this tension and pain? What happens if I distrust that? What happens if I start trusting in my own sense of peace? That's been a challenge. Trusting my peace, trusting that my peace and rest is safe, trusting my peace and rest is valid and valuable. And I've had a lot of significant peace and rest over the years in doing this work, but this was a dive that I didn't realize even existed. That's kind of the funny thing about healing is it's an emergence into a new awareness. And so where we are right now, we're like, this is better than where I was, and I am so grateful for it. But we don't know yet what else is to come. 2020, 2021, 2019, those years really, really have kind of nailed that into my awareness. Is like, hey, there is something more to discover. And I think this is a really important component in our healing, is not to get fixated on a particular result or outcome, but to remain curious about what else is possible. It's especially important when we are considering new outcomes for ourselves that we have never succeeded in, and that we have never actually, experienced. This is how we move beyond that. So in 2021, it's been a lot about that trust, about that expansion into states of being beyond what I was tolerating at the time. Now, 2022 has been asking me to be more of this. So that's going to be interesting to see what this resolves, because we're coming into the SelfTrust course that starts 2 weeks from this coming Monday. That would be January 17th. We've got the 5-day challenge that starts in less than 10 days, really, because that starts January 10th. That is free to attend. The link is above on Facebook, below on YouTube if you want to enroll in that, because we're going to be teaching you the origin of codependency, how to regulate and care for our nervous system, how to start warming up self-trust in your experience, how to befriend and legitimize your lived experience and your emotions, and how to retrieve your value from other people's judgments, and how to apply that to your life. So you're going to get the essentials you need in order to break free from the grip of codependency and actually put your grip on freedom and follow that and begin to allow that to guide you in your life. So link above, again, is above on Facebook, below on YouTube, and then SelfTrust, the enrollment for all my courses will open on the 10th as well. SelfTrust, we're going to teach you what self-trust is, and then begin cultivating it in 8 specific areas, and for the foundation part of this course, because it's 2 sections, foundations and then the advanced trainings. And then in advanced trainings, we're going to root you into your self-trust through integrity by aligning your choice and action, your personal power with that. Now it's going to set you up for big success in your healing and in your joy in your life. So that'll be open for enrollment starting the 10th. And that enrollment will close on the 16th of January. All right. So I just want to take a moment and be here with you guys, connect with you, because it's been a while. So let me know in the comments how you're doing. I'm doing really well. I'm really grateful for 2021 and what it has taught me. I'm grateful to me for what I've allowed myself to learn and to acknowledge. I think that's one of the hardest things we do, is acknowledge what's going on. Acknowledge what we're feeling. Acknowledge what we're sensing. Acknowledge what we're experiencing. Letting ourselves move into an honest, present contact, a sober contact with reality, can be very challenging for us. So if that's a scary thing to you right now, you're not alone. It's a big deal. It's not an easy thing. But it is a thing that will cultivate care. It will cultivate honesty and kindness in your world, and ultimately more well-being for you. So, but yeah, let's acknowledge what it is. Because I acknowledge right now within me just this desire to be here. Because I'm excited to share with you guys these tools and these practices that are coming up in 2022. Because they have made a big difference in my world. They make a big difference in my students and clients. While we're never going to be in this utopia that we often think we're going towards in healing, what we're actually going to get to be is actually happier, actually more peaceful, more resourced, more capable in handling what shows up, less activated and less controlled by our fears, more trusting in our courage, more dedicated to our well-being. And there's a lot of peace and joy that comes in with that. That's something that I value most, because I've lived without peace for a long time in my life, and now I have it back. I value my power. I value my peace, but also this rest that comes in with this. And this is something I know you can experience in your world as well. And my goal, my hope, is that my tools, my processes can add to that in your world, because I'm not the only resource you're going to use. I shouldn't be the only resource you use in your world. But I would hope that what I contribute is adding that to your world, because that brings me joy. It brings me joy to see that the things I create and things I teach make a positive impact and a meaningful impact in your guys' world. So there's a sense of connection and joy for me there. Hey, Crystal. It's nice to see you too. Yes, excellent. Good to hear that you are doing well. I am looking forward to 2022 as well. 2022 is going to be a different kind of year for me, because I'm only focused on one specific course development, and that is the SelfTrust Course. We'll also be doing the Relationship Strategy Fundamentals trainings in February 27th is when those start. And then the next iteration of the Know Yourself strategy that'll start in August of 2022. So, but I'm not doing this big rollout of all these courses this year in 2022. It's just self-trust and cultivating that. And that's pretty exciting. Looking forward to seeing how your guys' lives change as you learn to trust yourselves innately, specifically starting with trusting your legitimacy in your experience, in your emotions, in your senses, in your sensations, in your awareness. That radically shifts how you work in your own healing, how your interface with life and with yourself changes, because internally we have a lot of self-doubt running around, and when we exchange that for self-trust, we find an immediate clarity. Most people find, wow, I'm relaxing, I'm more at peace, I'm more clear about what's real for me. And this happens in seconds for most people. Now, keeping that is the practice, but we can initiate it and then come into getting comfortable with it, allowing it to become a very normal experience for us and learning how to act from it. And that's what 2022 is all about. So, Further, 2022 will be, my body has an intuition. I don't have words for it yet, but there's a sense that 2022 is going to bring out some other changes in my world. And I'm excited to see what your guys' worlds are going to look like in 2022. What are you looking for? What do you sense is coming for you? What do you sense you would like more of and less of in your world? And those are things you can use to help kind of guide you throughout your year. So rather than like setting a goal or a target, set a value. Like, I'd like to feel more of X and less of Y. I'd like to learn more about B and integrate more of Q or whatever. Allow it to be a fluid, because that fluid nature allows us to be nimble and responsive to life, because it comes back to this idea of being present that I talked about a few moments ago. The more present and connected we are with our current moment, the more we can respond to it effectively and care for ourselves. And that does require caring for the nervous system, caring for reactive states, trigger states, helping ourselves regulate and legitimize our experiences, so it's safer to acknowledge what we're feeling and what we're experiencing, so that we can effectively respond to it. And so we're going to be exploring that throughout 2022, making that more effective for you and your world. So yeah, I'm just grateful to be here with you. I thank you for being a part of my world. I was just eager to kind of connect and just say hi and see what's going on. Next week, we'll get back into the self-trust trainings with self-trust episode number 3, as well as get yourself enrolled for the 5-day challenge so we can go deep together in live training in your healing. We can see and experience together the joy that you start to have and the relief and the peace that can be in your world by aligning yourself back with your self-trust, back with your innate value, back through the legitimacy of your experience and emotions, and caring for your nervous system. So that's what we'll be doing then. Okay, my friends, go gently with yourselves. And it's a classic dad joke. I will see you guys next year.